Hi, welcome to another completely unplanned episode from the Alan Rosenberg Show. I got home from work late tonight. I had a terrible day at work and had dinner and got on my computer right there to see if I had any comments on my channel because I always try to respond to my comments because it's the least I could do to thank you guys for being part of my channel and contributing so much. So I try to answer on my lunch break at work and then when I come home. And my first comment was from David, literally minutes ago. David, you could vouch for me. This is really unplanned. And David said, "Hey Alan, did you hear Robbie Robertson died? It's due. You should do a video." And I'm like, I had no idea he died. I stopped looking at my comments. I ran down to the basement, the archives, and I put together all my band CDs and Robbie Robertson solo CDs. Because, like most people, I'm a huge fan. And I'm really sad. I have not looked at any other channels. I haven't seen the news. The only thing was I saw one headline that said he passed away at the age of 80, and I think it said that he had prostate cancer. From what I saw, he died from prostate cancer that he had been fighting. I had no idea. I don't know if anybody else knew. I certainly did not know. So let's talk briefly about Robbie Robertson and the band. You know, and I hate to use the word geniuses, but Robbie Robertson, maybe he wasn't a genius, but he is an incredible talent. And the band, my God, did any band have a better name than the band? Because they really were a band. You had these five guys, and now they're all passed away, except for Garth Hudson is still alive. You know, they was so talented individually. They could all play multi-instruments. I love, you know, Levon Helm was a great singer and a great drummer, but all of a sudden he'd get up there and play mandolin. Richard Manuel would go from the piano on to playing the drums sometimes, and Robbie Robertson was no doubt the leader. Obviously, the songwriter, you know, the leader of the band. You could just see it certainly in the Last Waltz, but other places as well. And would the band have been as great? You know, they needed all those parts. As great as Robbie Robertson was a songwriter, he wasn't a singer. So you had Rick Danko singing and Richard Manuel and Levon Helm singing. And the songwriter was not singing, but he was definitely the leader of the band. Fantastic guitarist, but like the band name, they played for the song. You know, if you watch, there's footage of him jamming with Eric Clapton. He can go note to note, you know, and they can battle on the guitar, but it wasn't about that. It's playing what's appropriate for the song. And his chicken picking, just such a tasty, amazing talent. So let's talk about this now. David, who told me about his death, I guess it was today he passed away. Boy, I'm sitting on a disaster here, right, David? So we'll talk about the band after, because this stuff is probably going to fall. He did, you know, he broke up the band after the Last Waltz. Here's the Last Waltz on DVD, special features. I always go back and forth. The two greatest rock movies of all time, in my opinion, is The Last Waltz and the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. I've seen them both. I can't even comprehend. But this is a very different movie than Gimme Shelter. You know, this is just a fantastic movie. The concert performances are amazing. The guests, but you really see the band, how they can carry everybody who's playing with them, whether it's Van Morrison and Eric Clapton and Joni Mitchell and even Neil Diamond and Neil Young. I mean, the guest list is incredible, but it's the band show. And when the band plays, it's like the best of the band. In fact, The Last Waltz was the very first band album I ever bought on vinyl. And it's one of my all-time favorite live albums. It's also one of my favorite albums of all time. Here it is even on Laserdisc. How cool is that? So, The Last Waltz, one of the greatest films, one of the greatest music performances of all time. If you really want to get into band, that's a good way to do it, because that's how I did it. But then he called it quits after The Last Waltz. He felt they ran their course, and I think they did. He did the smart thing. The rest of the guys in the band weren't happy because Robbie Robertson was the songwriter and kind of left them. What are they going to do? And they had tragedy through the rest of their career. And then Robbie Robertson went into other great things. He went into the movies, acting and producing and doing the music. He became best friends with Martin Scorsese. They actually lived together for a while, and they worked on movies together, and The Color of Money and things like that. He finally released his first solo record, self-titled Robbie Robertson, on Geffen Records, and this is one of my favorite albums of all time. The highest accolade that I have every year since 1973, I have my database. Since 1973, at the end of the year, I do my favorite albums of the year, and I do my top 3, which are the top 3 most played albums of the year for me. And this was a top 3 album, Robbie Robertson. More importantly, I still play it to this day. And if you don't have the Robbie Robertson first solo record, you need to have it. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, I just got finished telling you he didn't sing with the band. He doesn't have the greatest voice, but it works fantastic on his solo records. And you listen to Somewhere Down the Crazy River, oh my God, I feel like I'm lost in the bayou voodoo country of New Orleans, and Sonny Got Caught in the Moonlight, Hell's Half Acre, Testimony, American Roulette, Broken Arrow, Showdown at Big Sky, Fallen Angel. Every goddamn song is amazing. This is an incredible record from Robbie Robertson. I'll put on some background there. His second solo record was called Storyville. And I actually think it's almost as good as the first album. This album went top 3 for me too. So Robbie Robertson solo got 2 top 3 albums. This is the one that's got Night Parade, Hold Back the Dawn, Go Back to Your Woods, Day of Reckoning, Burning for You, check that one out. Soapbox Preacher, What About Now? Fantastic. Fantastic. Storyville and his first solo record, 2 of my favorite albums of all time. After that, his solo career, he did this one, which I actually thought was really good because he's got some Native American in his blood. He's part Jewish, part Native American. Interesting guy. This is Robbie Robertson, the Red Road Ensemble Music for the Native Americans, which was a movie, documentary, but there's a lot of great songs on here. Ghost Dance. This album did really, really well for me too. Didn't go top 3 though. And then this was the last one that I really, really liked. Interesting album. Contact from the Underworld, A Red Boy, another Native American kind of hint. And another fine record. This one's got some really interesting textures. It's different. Unbound is amazing. In the Blood. Really good stuff, Making a Noise. Interesting record. The last 2 he did were not big hits for me. Not that they're not good. They just didn't, I don't know, they just didn't grab me. I did their 5 plays and I haven't really heard them since. This is the deluxe edition of this one, How to Become Clairvoyant. Again, it's got some good stuff on there, When the Night Was Young, but the album just didn't overwhelm me. This was the last one, Cinematic. And again, I played it 5 times, filed it away, and don't think I've really gone back to it. So, Once Was Brothers is a cool song. That's that. There was a Classic Masters compilation, which is fun to have as well. It's got some remixes on there, stuff from Native Americans and stuff like that. It does not have stuff from the first 2 albums. So, it's a limited compilation. You got to get his first 2 albums for sure. Now, beyond that, before that, he did the band. I already discussed how amazing the band was, but I'm assuming you guys have a lot of the stuff. The first one, Music from Big Pink. What an album. Can you see it? You probably know it. This is the deluxe edition. Well, with the remastered edition. I mean, these songs are beyond classic. Oh my God, Tears of Rage and The Weight, Chest Fever, This Wheel's on Fire, I Shall Be Released. I mean, these are the unbelievable. These are like the monoliths of rock. The second album I think is even better, the self-titled band album, look, Across the Great Divide, and Rag Mama Red, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. I mean, these are beyond standards. They're just the bedrock of rock. Up on Cripple Creek, Whispering Pines, Rocking Chair, Jawbone, King Harvest, Unfaithful Servant. Woo! Third record was Stage Fright. This one didn't get such great reviews when it came out, but I dig it a lot, especially the title track. And Strawberry Wine, The Shape I'm In, W.S. Walcott Medicine Show, The Rumor. Great stuff. But then they started splintering. Probably jealousies about money. The songwriter's always going to make more money. And then people say, well, I helped write the song. And, this was cahoots. Good record, but not great. You know what one's great? This one. Northern Lights, Southern Cross. This is, for me, it's way up there with the first two albums for sure. In fact, I always say, this has a failure on it, but Acadian Driftwood to me is one of my favorite songs by anybody. Fantastic, fantastic album. What else? Islands. It's an album that got a bad rap, but when you're as good as the band, there's always stuff that's really good. And I think this album's better than people give it credit for. A bunch of live records that came out later. This is Live at Watkins Glen. This is not a bootleg. This is on Capitol. Cool live record. The Last Waltz. This is a remastered version of it. I also have right up here. I got the box set. To take this one out. Here it is. Here's the box set of The Last Waltz. Now, this is really cool because the box set has got, a whole ton of stuff that wasn't on the original soundtrack. And this is just, like I said, for me, this and Gimme Shelter is the greatest rock movies of all time. Rock of Ages, a classic band live album. This is the deluxe edition. You want to get that because it's got the Bob Dylan set when he came out and joined them. And obviously, I don't have to tell you that the band were originally the Hawks, and they backed up Bob Dylan and Ronnie Hawkins. There's a bunch of compilations. Here's a greatest hits one. When it comes to the band, I definitely tend to listen to their albums, not really the greatest hits stuff. Here's a bootleg at Roosevelt Stadium. Well, I live on Long Island, so this is a classic concert from, when did they do this? 1973. Don't do it. Don't you want my heart? And here's, the band is class. And here's a box set called A Musical History. What is on here? 5 CDs and a DVD. And look at how he did this. You talk about class. And yeah, I know I'm wearing my pajamas, guys, because I came home from work. I wasn't planning on doing a video. But, this is like, it shows you that this is the band. They're not just some schlocky rock band. These guys are the bedrock of the history of rock. And this is a box set, man. How beautiful this is and how well produced it is and their whole history. And tons of tracks and unreleased stuff and live stuff. And, they're one hell of a special band they were. And deserving of the name of the band. There's the DVD. It's got some really cool stuff. So, that's a box set, right? Beautiful. So there you go. Robbie Robertson passed away. I'm not sure what day, but I just found out 10 minutes ago from David. And thank you for telling me. And I'm pretty upset and sad. Apparently, he died from prostate cancer. That's all I know. But thank you, Robbie, for the great music. I'm assuming you must have had an incredible life, with respect and success. And, everybody respected Robbie Robertson and the musicianship of the band. And they left behind, as you saw, an incredible discography and music that is truly timeless. So thank you for doing that. And, there's only Garth Hudson left. So we're getting old, huh? I turned 60. I had a shitty day at work today. I don't know. Time waits for no one, as the Rolling Stones said. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. David, thanks for letting me know about this. and letting me get emotional here and give you my musical memories of Robbie Robertson and the greatness of the band. If you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe. Check out my other videos. Thanks for being part of my little Alan Rosenberg Show community, because if you didn't watch and you didn't comment, it would just be lonely old me, and that wouldn't be much fun. Thanks again, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and let's enjoy life while we can. Okay, bye-bye.